John Goldstone is speaking about the mobility bond. Brenda Macias, you are up next, and then you will be followed by Walter Olnick.
Mayor Pro Tem, council members, my name is John Goldstone. I'm a voting taxpayer and borrower in the city of Austin, and I like bike lanes. This speech's main point is truth in lending. I returned from out of the country, and I see that you are voting on putting a $720 million bond on the ballot for November. I see that you've used the new 10-1 system to its fullest extent. You get some, you get some, you get some. Kind of like a bunch of drunken sailors. And I and my fellow taxpayers have to repay it. You may remember from last November when I begged the council to recommend to its constituents to vote no on the Travis County Museum Quality Courthouse bond. You may also remember that I consistently yelled and yell about process, because if the process is flawed, we borrowers have no choice but to vote no on a loan that you're asking us to repay with our property taxes and rents. I feel like we are on our own version of The Big Short, with you being our mortgage broker showing us teaser rates and adjustable rate mortgages that explode to a P&I number that is nowhere to be seen in the loan documents. As a part of your process, you have seen and used the June 22nd, 2016 memo from staff and accompanying PowerPoint. The Statesman Chronicle and Community Impact, as well as on-the-record public testimony, have been exclaiming the $56 per year number for a $250,000 house from the top of page 4 of the memo, based on an increase in the tax rate of 2.25 cents. This number stinks, and it does not accurately reflect the additional tax to a $250,000 property owner to repay this bond at full funding. The full bond payment, by the way, based on the city's own numbers of $115 billion total property, 20-year bond, 2 times per year, 5% interest rate, which, as we all know our estimates, is $58 million per year. Now, I'm not necessarily the smartest nut in the pile, but when I see a number in a calculation like 56 per year, I start to frown, as this is not the multiple I would have expected to see when compared to the numbers for the courthouse, which was $37.50 tax impact number for a $287 million loan. It does not smell good. The only way a borrower can make an informed decision about whether to borrow the money or not is looking at the actual number for repayment of the bond. It tells the borrower, if we all had to pay back this loan, what is my portion of the obligation? It is the first decision-making threshold. If the process is flawed and the numbers are misleading, we must vote no based on a failed process. Well, all of you better completely understand how these numbers work, because you have already spewed them to your constituents and are going to have to explain them, these same numbers, over the next 2.5 months. You do not want me to be able to accuse you of lying by confusion, misdirection, or omission. Please be honest and transparent, which means clear, by the way, truth in lending, and let the measure live or die on its merits with a real repayment number at full funding. And don't let it die because of a flawed process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goldstone.